Alright, hello everyone, and today we will be modeling the fish, the koi fish in Maya. I will talk you through the topology, I will talk you through UV mapping, lighting, rigging and animation of the fish. Also we will try some new methods of animation and rigging the fish, and we will go through some topology issues which you might face and tools how to fix it. So the first thing we're going to do is creating the project in Maya. For this I opened my Maya and I'm going to click new project, which is here, and it opens me the Maya scene. Alright, what I'm gonna do is to create the project window and set this project into the project folder I will create. So I'm going to File, Project Window, and I will name it Add New, like here, and name it Fish Koi, as well as I will put the path, the location of my project. It will be my X drive. I'm going to my computer, I'm going to my X drive, going to 3D production and selecting workshop 1. So here my project will be located. After that I will tell you a little bit of the organizational moments of the project. So scenes folder of our project, it will be the current moment which you saved your project on. It will save to the scene and it will be Maya file. After that, templates or assets. This folder is mostly for documentation or any 3D assets which you will add to your scene. Images, it will be rendered sequence through the render farm or any Playblast rendering movie from your scene. Also source images, it's mostly images that you will import into your scene, for example blueprints, for example textures, UV map picture, and so on. Others folders are not used much, but if we will be using, I will tell you. So I'm clicking accept. Okay, we accepted it, we created the project. Now I will set the scene into this project, so my files will not be deleted. Again, I'm going through File, Set the Project, and it opens me 2 folders. In the path I put the project window thing into. So I remember my project called Fish Koi, so I will put selected and press set. Alright, we're ready to go. So in order to start with creating any model, for beginners it's mostly will be useful having blueprint. So I will show you a couple of stuff how to import the blueprint and start working with this. So first of all, when I press space, it leads me to the top view. front view, right view, and my 3D view. So this is how your model will look like from the top. This is your model, how your model will look like from the front, and this one from the right. For this particular session we have front and side view of the fish, and we will be modeling using this and these views. Planes, sorry. So I'm leading my mouse here and pressing space again, and it opens the plane. So in order to import the blueprint, you should save it to your source images folder of this project. So I already saved into my project source images folder the blueprint, the front and side view of the fish, and now we will import it. So we're going to view, image plane, import image, and we are selecting front view. All right, we can go to these tools and scale our fish a little bit. By the way, as we're modeling our fish, we're going to need this modeling shelf. If you're on rigging, FX or animation shelf, just switch to the modeling one. So I'm going to scale the fish, image, blueprint, a little bit, and I'm pressing space, hovering here on the screen I want, and pressing space again. And this one is our right view, so we need to import the side view of this fish. We're going to view, image plane, import image, and pressing side view. Pressing open. Alright, and now I have a little bit tricky life hack for you. If you don't want to go to Photoshop to put your blueprints together and try to measure all the height and width of your blueprint so it will match, you can do very tricky, interesting life hack. If it's professional work, I wouldn't recommend to do that. It's better to do it in Photoshop, but if it's like quick and easy work, you might find it useful. So I'm going to just scale it and try to match this and flipper, the tom-tom of the fish and flipper. Alright, I'm switching to the move tool, and we need to scale it more probably. Alright, it looks good for me, and after that we will try to move our fish blueprints a little bit like that. It will not change anything in terms of plain pictures, and no like scaling down or scaling up. It will be the same, just it will be much neater and much understandable when we will add our first objects on this in the scene. So, are you ready to import your first object? So the fish looks a little bit like its head looks a little bit triangulated, but from the point of 3D modeling, I would say it's cube. It's just modified cube, and starting your works with the cube, some of the works from the cube, will be much easier for you about the topology. So the body is also looks like modified cube. I also recommend to start modeling any objects, any characters, any animals from the body part, because it's much easier and much sufficient way, I would say, because modeling head might be a tricky one, but if you already have your body modeled, you at least can calculate how many edges you have to combine head and body. Yeah. So I'm on the poly modeling shelf right here and press polygon cube. Alright, we imported our first object, and now we are going to the side view of the fish. Alright, also one trick: if you want to see through this grayed out square, it would be better if you go to shading and X-ray. It will give you the transparency which through which you can see the background image, your blueprint. So after that, I would like to go to the scale tool and scale it up to the size of the fish, and maybe move it with a move tool a little bit down, maybe scale it down a little bit. All right, so our cube looks a little bit shrinked compared to the body of the fish. So what we're gonna do is go to the scale tool and a little bit drag it to the size of the fish. Right, this looks good. So one little trick from me: if you want to have a good topology, and if you want to mirror your object, for example, you've done one side and you want to mirror it, or you've done one side better than another. So the thing is, when you're starting to model, you just should add one edge to split this object. For example, in our case, it's primitive object cube. So next time when you are adding some edges, some loops, your one line, which you can delete the side of, will be here. And you can delete easily, go into the top view and select it like that and press delete. So this is what we're gonna do. The first thing, there are 3 ways to add edges. The first way is go into the attribute editor right here and go into Polycount, and there is such thing like subdivision width, height and depth. You can add the edges by dragging this little button And there is also a way, if you want more freedom, more customization, more like sort of stuff, you can use multicut tool. Multicut tool, if you press Ctrl, and it gives you freedom to put the edge everywhere you want, if that makes sense. After that, one more tool, in Mesh Tools, insert edge loop. Insert edge loop, it might be more tricky because, for example, if you are inserting the edge and you have any bad topology, like triangles in your topology or n-gons, the insert edge loop tool will stop and will not go further these triangles and n-gons, while multicut tool you can easily cut it. Cut n-gons, cut triangles, and go further. So I would prefer, in this case, using, let's go to the object mode, using subdivision, and we will add one width, one height, and one depth. If we will go to our side view, we will see that we have vertical and horizontal line, and it separates fish body, which is what we want. And now we will start adding some edges. So as you can see, the fish has a little bit of kind of step, a little bit like heel, and in order to, we need to repeat this shape of the fish. So in order to do that, we are pressing right click on the mouse and go into vertices. After that, we are clicking on the screen and drag our selection to select all the vertices behind this vertex. If it doesn't work, it means you should select the tools here. So again, vertices. Vertices, it's points which you can manipulate with as well. And select one more. And we will try to scale it down. We're going to vertex mode again, and you see the fish doesn't have quite mirrored body, so we need to adjust some of the stuff. After that, here is fine, it's on the edge of the fish body, and here fine as well. We're going to scale, we're going to move a bit this one and this one. Okay, right. We have something like that currently. Good. So now we're going to add some more edges. In this case, I would prefer using Mesh Tools, insert edge loop, and go into the settings options of this tool. I will reset the tool so I can see what you see. So I would say that having multiple edge loops and having two and use equal multiplier would be the perfect solution for us. You will see why. We close it and we press on the edge, on the horizontal edge, and we will get two vertical edges with the same spaces between them. One, and here as well, two. All right. Now we need to go to the vertex mode, select everything, again use move tool, select everything and adjust it. All right, we have the problem because here is like little gap, like heel. We need to repeat this heel. In this case, it's better to use multi-cut tool. For example, the heel is a little bit righter than the middle or between these 2 points. So I would say we inserted this edge with multi-cut tool, and after that we're going to the move tool. We are selecting these edges and moving it down. All right, we have something like that. After that, we're going to the front view. Let's have a look what is there. Okay, we need to go again to shading and press X-ray to see through. We need to shrink down the object. When you're on the object mode, you can manipulate with moving, with scaling, with rotating of the whole object, not only vertices, points or edges. So I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, and yeah, looks good. So in order to, as it's clashing a little bit, it might not be understandable what we are doing. So I would prefer press space and have a look here what we are doing at the same time. We need to insert two edges, like here, here, four, here and here. So I would prefer using multi-cut tool, and the first edge I would prefer using on the same height of the eyes of the fish. Alright, and this one I would prefer using on the, and this one I would prefer using on the mouth of the fish. Also, we need to insert two vertical edges again on the middle of the eye of the fish, here and here. All right, so now we need to adjust our shape again according to our blueprint. So I'm going to vertices mode. I'm going to the 3D view. I'm going to 3D mode, I'm going to vertices, and I'm selecting all the vertices right here, right here, right here, and right here. And now I'm going to my front view and I will try to scale it. And again, I'm trying to adjust these edges as well. So I will scale down these guys as well. Let's maybe adjust these guys. Alright, and now I'm going to the bottom topology one. So I'm going to do the same with this. Okay. And we also should adjust these vertices as well, according to our shape. Alright. Think starting looking like a fish. If we're going to the 3 mode, we can have a look what we can improve. But I think it looks good for now. So after we finished with our main topology, it's time to adjust the top view of the fish. For example, here we need to shrink it down these edges so it will look like fishtail. It's going like fishtail. So what we need to do is have a look where these vertices are. One second. Yeah, it's here. Alright, now we can shrink it down step by step. For example, like that. After that, we deselect one layer, going like that. Oh, we forgot about something. 1 second. Alright, now we can shrink it again, deselect one layer of edges, shrink it again, and deselect again one layer of edges and shrink it down again. We can select this layer and also shrink it down, so it will look like fish body. So it looks good. The only one thing we need to do is to a little bit weak around this object. So in order to make the flipper and head and combine it, there shouldn't be any faces like here or here. So we need to delete these faces, unfortunately. We are pressing right click, go into face, and after that we are selecting these faces. And pressing delete. Oh, we selected not something that we don't want to be deleted. Press delete. So after that we are selecting these faces and press delete. Again we selected something that we didn't have to. Press delete. Alright, press 3 and we will see the issues with this fish. So I would say it needs a little bit smoothing. If we're going to object mode, you see there is some of the topology issues. So for example, there is some of the loops which make it do a little bit hilly. So we need to smooth it down by going to sculpting and pressing smooth the surfaces of a mesh without changing its original shape. Let's try this one, we will see how it works. And now we're going to go through this shape. I don't think something changed, so I think we need hard artillery. For example, smooth the surface of a mesh. So I think the next step we should do to smooth it and to get a good outcome, we should smooth it, add some divisions. So we should go to the mesh and press smooth. So it will smooth our geometry. We will see how it will work. We still have some stuff that we need to smooth. So now we're going to this smooth the mesh without changing the original shape, and we're going to smooth it a little bit. We also can do the simple smoothing. Alright, I think it's smoothed good. So I think it's smoothed good, and we have our body. So after that I feel like we should do the tail, and we will see how it will work. I think we should start from the side view and go into the polymodeling and start with the cube. With the cube again, going like that, and scale it up. So I think we should start again with the subdividing this cube. So we're going to add width, height, and depth. After that, I believe we should start making some adjustments. So, for example, we should go to vertices and little bit scale it up, selecting all the vertices and move it around according to our blueprint. After that, I believe we should add some more subdivisions with multi. So we should move around also this one and this one. After that, I believe we should add some subdivisions with multi-cut tool. I press Ctrl and add in some of the subdivisions. We also should add and adjust some of these loops. So I will add it with the multi-cut tool. And also here and here. So I'm going to vertices mode and adjusting everything according to our blueprint. So we added some necessary edges and loops, and after that I'm going to my 3D view, and it looks a little bit fat, his tail, so we need to shrink it down. And the thing is, his tail is not like that. It has some of the sheet-like edges, so we need to pull out some of the edges from their thing. For example, like that. So it looks more like the flipper now. And what I want to do is add some divisions. I'm going to edit mesh. Instead of smooth, because smooth is smoothing the flipper, but the flipper is a little bit sharp in this case. So we need to add divisions, because at divisions they preserve this sharpness. So I'm pressing edit mesh and press add divisions. Alright, it looks good. If I will smooth it, it still looks good. What if I will add a little bit? No, I think 1 is fine. So the thing I want to do now is to create this a little bit like wide and narrow till at the end thing, like triangle, this triangle. So what I'm gonna do is select the starting from here faces, and also these faces, and these faces, and you see it's going here, so we need to get rid of them. Alright, and I'm going to my top view and trying to shrink it down a little bit, and I'm going step by step. Alright, we have this interesting shape, but I want to shrink also this edge right here. Alright, looks good. So now what I want to do is to smooth it a little bit with Sculpt Tool. So I'm going to have a sculpt this a little bit. So I believe we should do a little bit harsh sculpting. So I'm going to select this tool, press B and drag to scale it down. So after that I'm going to sculpt it. I'm going to fix everything. So right now we have this little neat flipper. After that I would add some more edges. I will press mesh and press smooth. So we have some additional edges, and we can do right now these ribs on his tail. So how we're gonna do that? We're going to select edges. Actually, we're going to prepare our model for the... Oh, this is not good. We're going to prepare our model for combining with the mesh. So, for example, we will select this. Press delete. Now we're going to adjust this edge a little bit, as it's a little bit curved. So we're going to scale it down a little bit, so it will be straight. And now we will start doing our ribs. So for example, we will select this edge around, and we will try to scale it so it will do such a nice shape. After that we will leave this edge deselected, and we'll select this edge. Maybe we will delete some of the edges, as we want to preserve some shape. Alright, I think it looks good. The thing is, we need to combine these two objects into one. So what we can do is go to display, heads up to display, and check the Polycount here. You will have this window where you can count how many edges on one side and how many edges on the other side to bridge. So right, we should now combine our two models. I believe to combine them we should bridge them, and they should have the same amount of edges, this model and this model, to bridge it together. So I believe this model has bigger amount of edges than this one, so we're going to press select this model, click edit mesh, and add some divisions. All right. After that, we are going to click on the edges and straight them down, straight them up, do like that. All right. After this, to bridge them, they should be combined. They should be in one group, if that makes sense. So we select one, shift select another object, press mesh, press combine. All right, we combine them. And right now what we actually, we need to do this one a little bit lower. All right, and now again, select one, shift select another, mesh, combine. So now, according to this table, we need to count how many edges is here. It's 256. And how meshes is here? Oh, 256. All right, I think we can bridge it. If there would be another amount of edges on the another model, we would have to add some loops with multi-cut tool or insert edge loop. But now it's very good. So we're pressing bridge. And now we are tweaking it a little bit. So for example, we will add 2 divisions. We will add some twist. All right. So now the worst part is behind us, so now we need to just sculpt this step. So we're going to sculpt in, we're going to this, and we're trying to sculpt it nicely. Alright, now we have the ready flipper and body of the fish. I hope you like this tutorial, and next time we will model some more flippers, combine it with the body, and we will model the head. Thank you, bye bye.